Hey, what's up? This is David Draiman from Disturbed, and you're watching Audition News. That it was awkward as hell. I answered an ad in the Illinois Entertainer, and that Dan and Mike and Fuzz at the time had put out. And it was kind of fluffed up a little bit. They said that they already had like a record deal in the works, and studio time. They had studio time because they were partnered with a buddy of theirs in building rehearsal spaces who also had a studio. So it wasn't a fabrication completely. That actually did exist, but we shared a lot of the same current influences at the time. The first Deftones record had just come out. The first Korn record had just come out. So the whole birth of nu metal at the time was just starting. And I hadn't even touched metal for the longest time at that point. My metal was back in the 80s, and it was, while everybody else was still very much into the hair bands, which I was into a few, I was strictly Sabbath, Maiden, Priest, Metallica, Pantera. And anything else, well, maybe Whitesnake, maybe, we can go outside the box a little bit, but I was, pretty much with blinders on to a certain extent. You're a kid. You don't. You tend to be a little bit more narrow-minded than you are when you are older. But it was my roommate at the time, who unfortunately is no longer with us, who introduced me to the first Deftones record and to the first Korn record, and he actually went with me to that first audition. And I had been on like 30, 40 auditions already within the couple months that preceded my Disturbed meeting, which they were not Disturbed yet. They had called themselves Brawl at the time, which I kind of thought was a silly name. But and I walked in, total North Side Chicago stoner, in my jean shorts and sandals and white t-shirt, and stuck out like a sore thumb in the South Side Chicago rehearsal spot that they had, where these guys looked like members of Skid Row. Flannel t-shirts open with no shirt underneath, and the acid-washed super frayed jeans and the Converse All-Stars with the tongues hanging out and no laces. I mean, the whole 9 yards. Feathered, long, crazy hair, and they looked at me and I looked at them, and we were like, one of these things is not like the other. It's just, but, and they wanted me to play cover songs with them. Like, what covers do you know? And I'm like, I know lots of covers. Why? Look, what do you know? Let's play. I'm like, are you guys a cover band? No. You have original material, right? Yeah. PA work? Yeah. Okay. Microphone work? Yeah. Let me have it. Really? Yeah. You sure? Yeah, I'm sure. I want to hear your original material. That's why I'm here. So let's play. And they were very surprised and somewhat taken aback by it. I'm like, who's this guy? And they started playing one of their song ideas and listened to it for a couple minutes and came up with a melody in my head and married a lyric to it that I had written for a song in a group that I was in previously. And that song ended up becoming Want, one of the tracks on The Sickness, that very first day. And I went home with my roommate, and I was telling him, I'm like, man, I don't know about this, because I've never sang to anything so aggressive before. I'm no Phil Anselmo. I don't know if I can pull this stuff off. They were very Pantera-esque when I met them. And the singer that they had prior to me was very much wanted to emulate Phil. And I'm like, I don't know if I can do this. I don't think my voice complements the ferocity of what they have going on. And he sat me down and he said to me, dude, whatever you may be thinking, I'm telling you, I'm a fan of this genre. I'm a fan of this music. What I heard in that room There's no doubt in my mind you guys are going to get signed. There's no doubt in my mind. And I'm like, I still wasn't sure, and I was scared to death of it, because I just didn't know how I would wrap my voice around it, But they invited me back, and we kept playing, and they kept their game face pretty good during the audition too. I could see the shit-eating grins a little bit kind of peeking through as I was singing, but they kind of held their cards close. They didn't right away tell me, "Oh, we want you to be in the band," but had to have a few more practices after that. But we started affecting one another, and changing one another's sound.